we got the casting of the main three characters in the upcoming live action Harry Potter series. This got a lot of people talking. I personally have, now don't get me wrong, I'm no Harry Potter expert, okay? But I didn't think there was any real problem with this. One thing that I saw a lot of these accounts doing is they were taking the Hermione chick and they were posting her next to Emma Watson, like, and they were, I think they were trying to get a reaction from people. I think they were trying to get people to say things that they could use against them or whatever. I don't have a problem with this casting at all. Before we get into the bigger story that I think surrounding it, Steph, what did you think?
Oh, I didn't mind the casting. Hermione has bushy brown hair, brown eyes, and large front teeth. She is described as having pale skin, but I mean this this girl looks perfect, and she's a good actor. She played. I looked up some videos on her playing Matilda. She starred in the West End version of Matilda the musical, and she was adorable in it. So I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing her performing as Hermione Granger. I think that this is great casting. Ron Weasley has red hair, which I honestly, considering all the ginger side going on, I think that he looks great and adorable. He has a lot of freckles on his face, which is really cute. And Harry Potter, I think this kid looks great too. He was also in a bunch of stage plays as well, opposite Ralph Fiennes, which is really cool. He was in a Macbeth play. So those two, the one playing Harry Potter and Hermione, do have some stage acting. While the one playing Ron, I think his name is Alistair, which is a pretty boss name. He is the only one who, this is like his very first major role. I mean, this is but all three of them, their very first major role, but this is like, he hasn't had any acting experience. So
yeah, I wonder if these kids realize, or maybe these kids' families realize how much their lives are going to change. You know, now, I don't know if this is going to have the same impact as the first cast did with, because that, do you get lightning in a bottle twice? Who knows? But I think there's a bigger discussion that we're going to have about this series here in just a minute. But first, Beardo, what did you think about this?
I don't have a problem with either of these castings. I think they all look the part. But the controversy is it sparked up the conversation about Snape again.
Black Snape. That's what dominated the conversation yesterday. Yeah. And that's the bigger story here, is it shows how big of a problem this is. So I've got this picture here, and these are the comparisons of, all the new castings versus the old casting. And one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. They all look great.
It's glaring. It's glaringly obvious. Yeah.
It really is. Like, it's bad. And I do think that this based on the reaction of this and based on the stuff that I've heard, Ryan's covered this pretty extensively and he knows his Harry Potter. So it's like the way that Snape is portrayed in the stories and the things that the effects that this could have on the story. I think this is huge. I think this is a huge problem. Go ahead, Steph.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. Like whoever they cast from now on, the problem is always going to be there. And the problem is the casting for Snape. It changes the story dynamics from, just bullying him because he's poor and, the way he looks, to now people will talk about them bullying him because of his race. So it changes the story from, his skin color does change the story dynamic. And a lot of people I've seen online say it doesn't really matter. The casting can be great, and it is. I mean, I think that I have no problem with the kids being cast like that. The problem is already there, and the problem is Snape, and people can't get past that. And I can't get past it. I'm just like, well, I mean, they're going to change the story anyways with Snape being black. So what does it matter that these kids look good as the characters?
It's true. And I mean, that's the whole... This series is going to live and die by that casting right there. That's what it's going to come down to. Think about how much this fundamentally changes everything if this is what we got with Snape. Think about it.
Yeah.
Like, if that's your Snape, that fundamentally changes the entire perception of this series. That's it. Not only that, not only does Adam Driver have the look, he's a phenomenal actor. He's a great actor. And if you take that and make that one change, you have fundamentally changed everything about the perception of this series and how I think the story is going to go. and they have really stepped in it with this Snape casting. I think now maybe it calms down, maybe it goes away. I don't think that's the case, and that's what I learned yesterday by the casting of the big three, is that everybody's like, yeah, this is fine, but Snape fucked everything up. And everybody is rejecting the Snape casting. This is going to be interesting. Well, interestingly enough, J.K. Rowling has commented on the cast of the main three, yet she didn't make any comments on Snape. Can somebody convince her that Black Snape is transgender so she can go on an all-out war to get rid of like Black Snape? Like, just say like, hey, you know that Black Snape's transgender, and she's like, what? I am outraged. That's all we got to do to convince her, and she will be really, really upset. But yeah, I think that yesterday's news but it confirmed that the Black Snape casting is not there. It's not going away, and it's going to create problems throughout this series. And they are not prepared for it. I don't think they're prepared for the amount of backlash that they're facing. So
well, and they're 100% going to bring race into it when it comes to the bullying from Harry Potter's dad and Snape, when they eventually get to the seasons where they, talk about the flashbacks to, Snape at his time as a student at Hogwarts. It's 100% going to be about race. And I'm also worried with Hermione being a mudblood, are they going to play race into that too? Is that going to be a racial slur now? The mudblood argument.
Yeah. See, what the problem is that all of that is attributed to class, which is a British thing. It's all attributed to class. Now, with bringing in Black Snape, all of his experiences and decisions, that can be attributed to racial issues. Even if they use the class system like they did in the books, that people watching can attribute it to, oh, it's just because he's Black, or it's because Hermione is darker skinned than everybody else. It's no longer a class thing. It's more of like a racial issue thing.
Yeah, and it just feels like they're going to bring real world identity politics into it, because again, the fact that they've already cast Snape as a Black man, it just shows that they're going to bring that real world aspect into it. It's going to be interesting to watch. I found myself becoming more and more interested in Harry Potter because I've been spending so much time at Universal Studios, and obviously, if you go to Universal Studios at all, you're surrounded by the Harry Potter world, and it's fantastic. And I've seen the movies and everything like that. I was never like, the first time I watched the movies, they were like okay to me. I was like, whatever. I watched them again years later, and they really did hit differently. I'd like to rewatch the series again. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how the perception of this show is, and I'm looking forward to the videos that we can make off of it.